All right, everyone, welcome back to Breslov Efrat here at Shira David, Baruch Hashem. Another beautiful day here in Eretz Yisrael. We're going to continue our lessons in Likutey Halachos, Hilchos Tefillin, and we're in Halacha Vav. And today we're going to lesson Tes Vav, which is 15. All right? What? All right, good. Everyone have the place? Tes Vav, 15. Okay, so today Reb Noson says, we're always talking about this idea of the Hitzneitzut Zamayach, right? The idea that it realigns our mind, our thoughts. The Tefillin can realign our thoughts, our thought process of what we used to think was important. We understand now what's important. We understand where to devote our time now, and things like that. Tefillin help us with that. It's amazing. So the Rebbe says today, Val Kain Tefillin Heim Bechinas Yira. Tefillin is an idea of Yira. Yira, fear, right? Yiras Hashem, right? Yiras Haraimus, right? The fear of Hashem, fear of the loftiness. Kamei Shamar Beiseinu Zal. As Chazal say, Ki al Yedei Hitzneitzus Hamaychen. What does the Gemara say? That it says that V'ro Kol Amei Haaretz Hashem Hashem Nikra Alecha. And they'll be scared from you, right? The people will see. The Amay Haaretz, right? The nations of the world will see. The nations of the world will see you wearing tefillin. The Gemara in Bracha says, right? Right? You're going to see you wearing the tefillin, and you're going to be, and they'll be scared. They'll be fearful of you. Rabbi Elazar Gadol says that's tefillin shabaraysh. When you see the Tefillin Shabaraysh, the people will see the Tefillin Shabaraysh, they'll be fearful of you. What does that mean? Let's see what it means. Each one gets his greatness. Each one gets his greatness according to his level. So we said yesterday, here we go, this is an important idea. Right? Everyone has within them two aspects, right? We have to have one aspect. We have to have the aspect of Malchus, right? That we are princes. We are the son of Hakadosh Baruch Hu. B'ni b'chayri Yisrael, right? Hashem said, "You are my firstborn," right? So we need that in order to engage in Torah, to start learning Torah, right? I need to feel that the material I'm learning is special material, right? Because again, if I'm a prince and this is Hashem's Torah, so this is royal material that I'm studying, right? I need to feel that. I need to feel it's something special. But then once I start learning the Torah, I realize how vast the Torah is, how amazing the Torah is. It gives me a level of humility, right? You understand, right? So there's two aspects. In other words, on one aspect, I need to have the aspect of Malchus. I need to feel, in order to engage in Torah. Because if I just feel humble, who am I to learn Torah? I may feel that way. Who am I to learn Torah? So I need to feel that aspect of Malchus. I need to feel that aspect of that I have something with me, and then that gets me interested to learn Torah. When I learn the Torah then makes me more humble. What does humble mean? Because I realize how great the Torah is. I realize how great Hashem is. Right? I realize how great Hashem is. So I realize, and then we learned yesterday we make the bracha of the Asher Yotzar, that we realize that how delicate our bodies are. Right? We're very, very delicate. If anything gets tweaked in the wrong way, chas v'shalom, and everything goes, right? Rabbi Simcha said he had a little bit of wine, and right? See? It's just a little thing, right? What was it already? It was a cup of wine, right? And it changes us. It's amazing how each thing can just change us so simply. So when we realize that, we realize how insignificant we really are, and how really we are dependent on Hashem. We don't have anything of ourselves, right? We're really all dependent on Hashem. And then by doing that, it makes a person more humble. Right? Because you become more you realize it's not all about me. It's not the koyach of Eitzim Yadi. I didn't do all this. Hashem granted me everything. Make sense? Does anyone have any questions on that concept? You want to say something? Okay.
It seems like there's another side of it. Just the opposite. Like, what if I don't realize how great the Torah is?
Then you're not studying the Torah the right way.
No, I mean, I feel like I'm just now on a path where I'm learning how great the Torah is.
Right.
But before this, I really didn't know anything.
Okay.
I mean,
no. Okay. So one second. So, but what did you use? What did you use to start to learn Torah? What caused you to start to learn Torah? You realize how important your neshama is. You realize how important you are, and how important Olam Haba is, right? And how important your life is, right? You realize that.
no, I didn't realize.
You didn't realize that. So.
No,
What got you started to learn Torah? What got you involved in it? What was the mechanism that got you involved to now start to open up the book and start to learn and say, "Wow, this is amazing."
I was reading a book with my wife.
Yeah.
And it was about a woman who had, she started menstruating again, or bleeding again, and she took to the rabbi, and the rabbi said, you need to go to the doctor, and they found out she had cervical cancer or something like that. And the doctor said, how did you know? We never find out this early. And it ran through my body like some energy that said, there's like Hashem, something Hashem created a few thousand years ago, saved this woman's life.
Yeah. Okay.
That's where it started. But I was probably 50 years old at the time.
Okay, but you saw something, and then you realize, wow, the Torah is something great.
Yeah.
You realize there's something great to the Torah. And then you realize that, so what made you want to read the Torah? You realize, wait a second, I'm part of this. I'm part of this program.
Yeah.
I didn't know about it, but I'm part of this program, right? And that's what got you motivated to study the Torah, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that was everyone has a different story, right? That was your story. Okay.
Yeah. But there are people before that who are not there yet.
Okay, so you said you were 50 years old. Okay, so good people, Hashem works his way out. Don't worry.
Okay.
It'll all work out. Don't worry. Hashem has a good plan for everybody.
Yeah. Okay.
He has a good plan for everybody.
Okay.
All right? So it's all through the biurei Torah, right? The clarifications when we study Torah, that we're mevarer the Torah, we understand it, we try to understand it, and we said that that's all part of chidushei Torah, right? Anytime that you study something new, right, you learn a new Mishnah, right, that you didn't know before, so that's a chiddush to you, right? That's now a chiddush. So that's part of your chidushei Torah. That's amazing. You feel so great, right? You learn something new that you didn't know. That's great. You feel accomplished, right? Okay. So in other words, so the same way when we were standing on Har Sinai, we felt that fear of Hashem. We felt the reverence. We felt Hashem had the thunder, right? Hashem had the thunder going, and then the skies were opened, and wow, it was an amazing thing. We felt the Yiras Hashem. They say that the Mekubalim say that when we were on Har Sinai, right? Everybody there got healed from anything that they had, right? If someone had eye problems, they got healed. If someone was missing a limb, they got anything that happened, everyone was healed. So the Mekubalim say that when you listen to the Torah, when they take out the Torah, each time we listen to the Torah, that's an aspect of Kabbalah HaTorah, when they take out the Torah. So if you really try to understand that, wow, I'm listening to, this is a Kabbalah HaTorah here. This is something amazing. So that can actually bring a person healing. You believe that? The Mekubalim say that can bring healing from the Kayach of the Torah. Just by realizing this is somewhat an aspect of Kabbalah, because they're reading the Torah now. Okay, just a side thing, okay? Shekol zeh hu bechinas tefillin, all of this is the tefillin. The same way the Torah can startle the mind, can wake up the mind. Right? When you study the Torah and you see something, some great chiddush, you learn something new, and it just so when you again the tefillin can do the same thing. The tefillin have that same thing in the mind. It can wake the mind up again if we understand the importance of the tefillin, right? That's what we keep learning about the tefillin, how they're made, and how Hashem works, how they have to be done, and they have to be done lishma, and they come from the animal, and all of that. And we learn how beautiful they are. So that can also wake me up. The same way that the biurei Torah, it's one of the same. Huksha kol Torah l'tefillin, and therefore the Torah, the Gemara in Kiddushin on Lamed Hey Amid Aleph, makes a hekesh, right? It makes a link. A hekesh is a link. It makes a link from the Kol Torah Kulei to Tefillin. You know that, right? Is that an amazing idea? And I told you something nice. Rabbi Nachman, all of Rabbi Nachman's Torah, all of the Likutey Maran, all of his Torah really comes from these ideas, these concepts in Tefillin. All of the lessons are drawn from these concepts in Tefillin. All the lessons, all of his lessons are linked to these lessons. Amazing idea. It's amazing. K'moshe Kosov, Leman tiyu Torahs Hashem beficha, Leman tiyu Torahs Hashem beficha, in order that the Torah of Hashem should be in your mouth. What's the matter, fellas? You all right?
I was trying to find to match up where you are.
We're doing 16.
Yeah, no, we got
15, excuse me. 15. Picha, right. Ki atfilin hein bechinas kabbalas atayra b'chol yom. Because the idea that tefillin is another aspect of kabbalas Torah every day. Every day. So we said before when you're listening to the Torah, but tefillin is a hekesh. The Gemara makes a hekesh, a link from tefillin to all of the Torah. So every time you take out your tefillin, it's the whole Torah right there. Hainu bechinas biurei haTorah shenemshachem mi'esnoitzes hamayach shenemshachem mi'estaklis pnei Tzaddik. The same idea when we look at the Tzaddik. Right? We keep learning about this because that's based on lesson Ayin Beis, right? It's 72 in Likutey Maran. Okay, and the Rebbe speaks about all this idea of the Riyas Pnei Tzaddik. When you see the Tzaddik, when you go see a Tzaddik, so that interaction that the neshamas have by seeing the Tzaddik. And then again, when the person believes in the Tzaddik, we keep talking about that. The whole idea is believing in the Kayach of the Tzaddik. We have to believe in the Tzaddik, right? We have to believe in Hashem, of course, and we have to believe that without the Tzaddikim, where would we be? How would we know Hashem?
Does anyone know who Rabbi Nachman's Tzaddikim were? Who he looked to?
Baal Shem Tov.
Well, his great grandfather.
For sure.
He used to always go to see the grave of his great grandfather.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who was this great grandfather?
The Baal Shem Tov.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, Rabbi Nachman is the great grandson of the Baal Shem Tov. But again, Reb David, the Baal Shem Tov also revered the Kedushas Levi.
Kedushas Levi came before the.
No, it was the same time. No, but Rabbi Nachman lived at the same time as the Kedushas Levi. Yeah. So he revered. He felt that we're going to learn soon that Rabbi Nachman and Reb Noson is going to bring it in, that he held very highly of the Berditchever. He even said the Berditchever was the Pe'er. The Tefillin is known as the Pe'er. What's Pe'er? Splendor, greatness. We say in the morning, Aita Yisrael b'sifara. Or remember, one of the brachas we make, Aita Yisrael b'sifara. So the Chazal tell us when you do that, you're supposed to kiss the Tefillin Shel Rosh. When you say that bracha, you kiss the Tefillin Shel Rosh. You touch it and you kiss the Tefillin Shel Rosh. Did you know that? No, we didn't know that. Okay, so
Which bracha is this?
we make the blessings in the morning, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you make the second to last one. Yes, it's the second to last one.
Oh.
Is the Oite Yisrael b'sifara, b'tifara. Okay, if you say it like that. Okay, all right. So it means that Hashem. It's talking about the Tferes, splendor. So Rabbi Nachman was over a Shabbos. Rabbi Nachman, I believe it was Shalashudis, that he said that he feels that the Pe'er left the world. And that was when the Kedushas Levi had passed away.
He felt it.
He felt it. That's how close he was with the neshamas of the tzaddikim. He was able to feel. It was Shabbos. He was probably in Breslov, right? And Berditchev is quite a way away.
Yeah.
No one came and sent him a message. Okay, right? And it was Shabbos, right? So he felt that the Pe'er left. Yeah, we're going to learn a little bit about it. But okay, that's an idea. So again, Re'iyas Pnei Tzaddik for us is whenever you see the Tzaddikim, right, to revere them, to understand how beautiful the Tzaddik and how they can help us. And they want to help us, right? We know that Tzaddikim take a lot of the blunt of the of the gvura of the world, the tzaddikim take it upon themselves, and they really absolve us. The tzaddikim take on a lot of the gevuras Hashem. They absolve us from it. So when you realize really what the tzaddikim are doing for us, wow! You want to say something, Reb Simcha? Okay, V'al Kain, HaTzaddikim v'Kashem HaNilvim Aleim Hein Bechinas HaTfilin. The tzaddikim and the ksherim, and those that are the followers that are following after the righteous ones, and the ones that they follow after, they are an aspect of tefillin themselves. Because we keep learning the idea that we have to have every day different conversations, right? Every day we have to have a conversation, dain min dain, right? We have to have a conversation, a nice, deep, heartfelt conversation with a good friend. Remember we learned that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right, we're supposed to have a good conversation every day. Why? Because when we have that conversation each day, everyone gets another Nakuda Kadesha comes to them on that day, something special, and you get something special, I get something special. When we talk, we can exchange it with one another. It's a beautiful idea. Right? We're also supposed to have a conversation with the tzaddik every day. How do you do that? You learn the teachings of the tzaddikim. If you can talk to a rabbi, that's wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. But if you can't study the teachings of the tzaddikim, that's having a conversation with the tzaddikim. Okay? And then you also have to have a conversation every day with Hashem. That's the Isbodedus, right? Speak to Hashem every day. So Reb Nachman says you're supposed to speak to Hashem for an hour a day. Set aside an hour. It's not all or nothing. Right? Reb Noson says that. It's not all or nothing. If I can't do an hour, so I won't do nothing. No, if you can't, you speak to Hashem for whatever you can. If you can speak to for an hour, that's wonderful. If you can do 5 minutes, so do 5 minutes. But it's 5 minutes more than nothing.
You can also break it up.
Of course you can.
10 minutes here, 15 minutes
David,
here.
however it works.
People
However it works. Yeah, really, Reb Nachman said you're supposed to do an hour, set aside an hour.
Right.
The Baal Tanya says that also in Tanya. You're supposed to set aside an hour a day and make it din v'cheshbon. That's what the Tanya says.
The Chofetz Chaim did it too.
What?
All kinds.
It's
It's time that is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he'd seclude himself in a room for a couple hours every day.
Yeah, and he would make a din v'cheshbon. Sure, yeah. It's not a Breslov thing only. Rabbi Nachman said it's so important because again, how are you going to know Hashem if you don't talk to Hashem? Right? How are you going to know? How could you know Hashem if you don't speak to Hashem? Right? That's the point. Right? And those people say, "Oh, I know Hashem really good." Yeah, okay, but you never speak to Hashem. How do you know Hashem? Right? Okay. So call Yisrael. Kihem ha-pe'er shel Yisrael, because they are the pe'er, they are the splendor, the beauty of the Yisrael. Ki ha-tzaddik hu pe'er hadar. Oh, maybe he's going to say it right now. Ki ha-tzaddik hu pe'er hadar, because the tzaddik is the pe'er, is the splendor, the delight of the generation. Bechinas tefillin nikroyim b'shem pe'er. Like I said to you a moment ago, right? We say the bracha Aita Yisrael b'Sifara. Sifara, the Tiferes is Pe'er, right? The root is Pe'er, right? Pe'er is the splendor, beauty, okay? Here he is. He's saying it right now. Right? Here we go. Kavavaya b'Sichusay HaKadoshah of Rabbeinu Zal. Rabbi Nachman was saying on his sichas, Ma she'omar ala goyin hatzadik harav mi Berditchev. How do you like that, huh? He spoke about the great Rav, which is the Kedushas Levi, right? The Levi Yitzchak ben Sarah Sasha, the great tzaddik, right? And look what he says. You see that? Reb Noson wrote it. How do you like that, David? You asked about it. It's right there. How do you like? You like that?
Yeah.
It's beautiful, right? Isn't that beautiful? Bechinas Tefillin. So he said that the tzaddik, the Kedushas Levi, you hear this? He felt that the pe'er left the world. He called it tzaddik is the pe'er, the beauty. Why? Because again, we said that the tefillin is there's a link between the tefillin and all of the Torah. The tzaddik is the beauty of the generation. He has knowledge of the Torah, so he is one. He's like the tefillin, the pe'er, the splendor of the generation. Does that make sense? Okay. V'kol ha'kroivim lahem hal nilva aleim mikablem ikar atveres, and those that follow the tzaddikim, they get the greatest benefit. They get the greatest benefit from being with the tzaddik. They get the greatest benefit. They get the greatest guidance from the tzaddik. They get the greatest help from the tzaddik from anyone else. V'chein talmidei, v'chein talmideihem, v'talmidei talmideihem. And the children, the students in each generation that follow the tzaddikim, they get the same thing, the benefit from the tzaddik. Kulam mekablim as far as mayhem, they get the great splendor, the greatness from the tzaddikim. Shehu bechinas are of the tefillin hamnshachim mehestaklis b'nei tzaddik, and that's the same idea. And listen, all people, all Jews, they have this same concept, right? Whether they're let's say you have a guys in the yeshiva, right? The Litvish yeshiva, they have the yeshiva. So they love to have a talk with their Rosh Yeshiva, right? The same idea. They'd love to have an opportunity to meet with the Rosh Yeshiva. The same thing is going on. The same thing is going on. It's Re'iyas Pnei Tzaddik. For them, that's wonderful. And the same thing is going on, whether they know it or not. Yeah, it's the same thing. It's not a special concept. Right? Everyone, no matter where they are, Jews like to be with their Rebbe for a Yom Tov, right? Whether they're Litvish, whether they're Hasidish, that makes no difference. They want it, but what's driving them? This is what's driving them. They feel that the neshama feels something. The neshama feels that they have to be with the tzaddik, and they need to see the tzaddik, and that's what realigns their mind the same way. Does it make sense? You understand? So it's not only, you'll find this really throughout Yiddishkeit, right? When you can have Sfardim, right? They want to go to their tzaddik, right? The chacham, right? They want to be by the chacham. It's the same idea, right? To them to go to see the chacham, that's the tzaddik. It's the same thing. So it doesn't. I'm telling you, it's really on all aspects of Yiddishkeit. It's the same thing. So it's not just something that the Rabbi Nachman came up with. Something that Rabbi Noson is telling us about the Riyas Pnei Tzaddik. We all do the same thing. Does that make sense? Is there any questions on that? Does everyone agree with that? Yeah, okay, wonderful. What?
For some, just the concept of the Rebbe is the same thing. Their Rebbe.
Yeah, that's what I just said, right.
Their Rebbe is they don't say tzaddik, but that's what it is.
Their Rebbe is the same thing. It's exactly the same thing. That's what we said, David. They'll want to, all the guys in the yeshiva, they want to spend time with the Rosh Yeshiva. They want to be with the tzaddik. Right. Again, and then that's the tzaddik on that level, in that generation. And I think it's the same concept. Okay? All right? Okay, fine. Mekabel Kol Yisrael or Kedushas Tefillin B'chol Yom. And we get the same benefit every single day. Listen to this, but look at this. Look at this. Every time you take out your tefillin, you can look at your tefillin and say, wow, the Gemara in Kedusha makes a hekesh between the tefillin and Kala Torah Kulei. So that means I'm holding in my hand here tefillin. They really, the whole Torah is found inside my tefillin. Right? It's the Gemara makes the hekesh, right? Right? No one's going to disagree with that, right? The Gemara makes a hekesh on the tefillin. So that means the tefillin really have it at the aspect of all of Torah. So if that's the case, So when I see the tefillin, it can help again realign my mind. It can help, but again, that's if we take out the tefillin, we spend a moment to look at them, right? We have to. If we just half asleep and we just put them on, okay, it'll help also. It'll help, but again, the more you put in, the more you'll benefit. Okay, so in other words, to see the beauty of the tefillin, to even sometimes take out the tefillin. If you don't have time during the day, take them out and look how beautiful they are. Take them out and look at them. Take a look at your tefillin. Look how beautiful the tefillin are. Look at the tefillin.
Look at the cow. Look at the tefillin.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's see now. So that was the Tes Vav. Now we're going to do Tes Zayin. Okay. Tes Zayin 16. Zeh bechinas tefillin. The Rashi, the Tefillin, the Rabbeinu Tam. Here we go. By the way, this is one of the last lessons now that we have actually that we're going to be talking about Tefillin. Okay? This is one of the last lessons. I think Tes Vav, it finishes, Tes Vav is the last lesson in Tefillin itself. Then we're going to be learning Hilchas Birchas HaShachar, right? We're going to learn Hilchas Birchas HaShachar based on the lessons of Tefillin. Where Reb Noson is going to keep this concept going, this concept of Anova and Re'iyas Pnei. So the same thing, he's going to keep it going through the bracha, so it's still found in Tefillin. But this is one of the last paragraphs that Reb Noson is going to talk about actually Tefillin. Okay? Okay, so Baruch Hashem. Good Rabbeinu Tam. Shehem machmas sofik eich la'aniach aparshiyas ba'abatim. Right? Because there's a suffix of how do you put the parshiyas into the bottom, right? How do you place the scrolls? How do you place the scrolls? How should they be put inside the bottom, right? The order of how they should be put in. Okay, uve'emes shneim emes, and really both of them are truth. They're really truthful, because we always say the concept of elu ve'elu divrei elikim chayim, right? What's that? Both these and those are the word of the living God. So in other words, whenever you're learning something whenever you're learning a Gemara, and you see there's a big machlekes going on, to realize that they're both saying the right thing. It's not that one's right and one's wrong. We paskin like this one, but that's not to say that the other one's not right also. It's elu ve'elu divrei elikim chayim, and that's a very strange concept to us, because how could it be that they're both saying the same thing if they're saying opposite things, right? How could they both be right if they're saying the opposite thing? But that's something that we really have to understand. Elu ve'elu divrei elikim chayim, really both of them are saying the same thing, and they're both correct. The same thing here when it comes to the tefillin. Right? Rashi said we put the tefillin in the parshiyas a certain way. Rabbeinu Tam came along, and who was Rabbeinu Tam? Rashi's grandson. Right? Rabbeinu Tam was Rashi's grandson. Right? I told you the story with Rashi and Rabbeinu Tam, right? I tell you don't remember the story? No.
I never heard it.
Oh, okay. So I'll say it again. It's no problem. It's a short story. Rashi lived in the city of Worms in France, right? He had a little. There's a city.
In the Germany Worms?
No, it was in France. In France.
Okay.
Yeah, and what?
I know he lived in France.
He lived in France. Yeah.
Okay.
Don't tell the French that that's Germany. They'll just start another war. Anyway, that's not important. So he had a little house, right? He must have lived in one of those little one-room cottages, right? And he was sitting and learning. One afternoon, he was sitting and learning, and he was wearing his tefillin. And Rabbeinu Tam, his grandson, was sitting on his lap when he was learning. And his wife was sitting, the Maisa goes, was sitting in the corner knitting or whatever she was doing. And then all of a sudden, his grandson pulls his tefillin shel rosh off his head. And his wife gave out a scream. What happened here? Why did he pull off your tefillin? Rashi started to laugh. He says, don't worry. This little boy here, Rabbeinu Tam, this little boy here, he's gonna be a big tzaddik. He's gonna be one of the Balei Tosfos, right? Rabbeinu Tam was one of the Balei Tosfos, right? Right? Not only that, and he's gonna have a machlekes with me on how you put the parshiyas in. So he takes off my tefillin. It's all good.
Oh, he knew that.
Rashi knew that. Rashi knew that. Isn't that beautiful? Rashi knew that that Rabbeinu Tam was going to have a machlekes with him on how a disagreement on how to place the parshas into the boxes. Unbelievable. And really both of them are truth. It's tzrich and shneim, but we need both of them, because again, if there's a suffix, which one is right? And if I only put on one, well, maybe I really should be putting on the second one also. So really, we're supposed to put on the Rashi and the Rabbeinu Tam tefillin. V'inyan zeh, bechinas masha kosu sham b'soif ha-Torah nal shomer, oz admar zal. Rabbi Nachman said, achar ha-Torah nal shebe'emes, ein anu yoidim mahu shiflus. We don't really know what shiflus is. We don't know what it means to be humble. We don't really understand what that means. We don't really know. Ki bevadei ein hachno liyos otzel v'roye mazel. It's not that someone should never think that being shuffle, being a humble person, right? Would think that the person's a lazy, like a shlamazel. No, that's not it at all. The hainu shlamaznik, right? It's the opposite. It's the opposite. That really the idea of anova is really the main point in life. Because again, we can only appreciate life when we're humble. If we're arrogant, if we're not, what's the opposite of humble? Being arrogant, right? Arrogant. Again, I think that's a good opposite, right?
Yeah.
Right. Haughty, arrogant, right? Which is the opposite. So if a person is humble, so then the person is always understanding, and he can look at things in a certain way. You could see people in a certain way. You can view your life in a certain way. Where if a person is very arrogant, he sees it in a totally different light. Anything that someone does and says to the person, he gets right away upset. He gets bent out of shape right away. Correct? And a person's arrogant. Well, how could you say that to me? How did you do this to me? What do you right? But if the person's humble, he takes it with that grain of salt. Right? He takes it with that grain of salt, and he understands, he thinks about it, and he realizes when the person told him something, really all that person's a messenger from Hashem that's trying to help me to fix something, and that's why he told me that, and that's why I heard that. But if a person's arrogant, he can never do that. So really the main point of our life is to really be humble. So you can't say that being humble is like being a shlamazel, not at all. Not at all. That's a very important aspect in life. And there's when you go home and your wife tells you something, so you understand. You don't have to start a whole fight, right? Otherwise, people are fighting all the time, right? Arrogant people are fighting all the time. Humble people are easygoing. They're more easygoing. They live a much more peaceful life. Does that make sense? Yeah. It's very practical. It's nothing. Rabbi Nachman is not telling us here anything. It's practical. Ayin sham. V'tzrichen levakesh habe mi Hashem yisbarach liyas anova amitis. But really, we have to beg Hashem. You hear this? We have to beg Hashem that He should give us true anova. He should give me true. Let me be truly humble. Let me be truly humble for the right reasons. I want to be humble, right? To be humble for the right reasons. I want to get closer to you, Hashem. I want to have a better relationship with people. I want to understand how great you are, Hashem. Again, if a person's arrogant, right, he can never appreciate Hashem. Right? Whatever Hashem gives him is never good enough. What do you mean? That's all you gave me, Hashem? I need more. What is this? Right? A humble person is, wow, Hashem, you are so nice. Whatever you gave, whatever Hashem gives him, he's thanking Hashem for it because, again, he realizes, what really should I get? And Hashem gives me so much more than I'm supposed to get. So really, the Rebbe is telling us over here that we're supposed to mamish beg about tzrichen levakesh harbe. Spend a lot of time begging Hashem, request from Hashem, liskois la'anova mitas, to come to true humility. Let me come to true humility because that can really benefit my life the best. My relationships with anything it's healthy too. It's much healthier, right? Right? It helps a person's blood pressure and all the other stuff, right? Right? If a person gets angry a lot, it's not good for his blood pressure, right? So it can be good for the health. It's good for the neshama. It's good for relationships bein adam lachaveiroi. Right? It's a wonderful thing to ask Hashem, beg Hashem to give me true humility. Okay? Now, there's so much Reb Noson says here. There's so much I can talk to you about this. There's so much because again, really everyone's life is different, and everyone experiences everything in their lives in a different way. So there's so much we could talk about. But I'm giving you the idea of how you could plug this into your life, how you could plug it into your situations. I explained to you a little bit about this above. In other places, right? Okay, keep emes. Misha writes Elias Yehudi be'emes. If someone wants to be a truthful Jew, he wants to be a righteous Jew. Wants to be a righteous Jew. Tzarech liyas giber chayil liyas chazak miyad. The person has to be a giber. He has to be strong. He has to be a warrior. Choyel, v'lasa is chazak miyad. He has to be very strong. What does Shulchan Aruch say? And when you get up in the morning, he means gaber ka'ari, right? Strength. Wake up in the morning like a lion, right? You have to wake up like a lion. A lion doesn't wake up like a lion wakes up. He gets up with a roar. That's how we have to start our day every day. You have to be a gibor chazak. Sheyeh loy azas the kedusha. Lamed keneged kol minei moinim umasisim umaakfim. Look, there's a very, very important concept. Everyone has a Yetzer Hara, and sometimes, unfortunately, the Yetzer Hara gets the better of us, right? It happens, right? We're human beings, we make mistakes, the Yetzer Hara gets the better of us. So the question is now, what do you do then? What do you do? Do you say the Yetzer Hara will say, well, look, you did this thing, you see, so why now you're going to start to daven, now you did this wrong thing, right? What are you going to do? Yeah, then you have to be a Gibor and a Chayil. Yeah, okay, I did this, I made a mistake, you caught me, but what am I going to do? I'm going to give up now. What do soldiers do? Soldiers are in a battle, right? They're in a war, and they're in a battle. They lose a battle. So they put up their flag, they give up? No, they don't give up. they regroup, and they start again. That's what we have to do. That's what it means. They have to be a gibor and a chayil. Every time something went wrong, you have to regroup, start again, and give it. The question is, why don't we use this idea of the gibor and the chayil with the Yetzer Hara before we make the mistake? That's the question. And we go there and we say, "You want me to make this mistake? I'm not going to do that. I know who I am. I'm not going to do that." But again, because the Gemara says that really a person doesn't do an Aveira unless a Ruach Shtus came into their mind, right? If a Ruach Shtus, I don't know how you say that in English. How do you say a Ruach Shtus in English?
A spirit of craziness.
A spirit of craziness. There we go. A spirit of craziness comes into a person. That'll cause him to do an Aveira. If the person doesn't get that spirit of craziness, right, he's not going to do the thing wrong because he knows what's going on. So we have to, but if we know that we have to always be a gibor and a chayil all the time, so use that as a means against the Yetzer Hara. That's an amazing concept. And again, use it the same way. If the person lost the battle, don't give up. Now regroup, start again the same way like we gave the example, soldiers that go into a battle and they lose one of the battles, but they don't give up the war. They lost the battle, right? There are many battles that go on in war, right? There are battles. They lose a battle doesn't mean they lost the war, right? And I don't want to lose the war. We don't want to lose the war. That's why we have to use that azaz, the kedusha. We have to use that brazenness of kedusha in order to regroup and restart again after I may have done something wrong. Okay. All right, now, Lamed Keneged Kol Minei Moinim, against anyone that's going to try to prevent you, anyone that's going to try to masisim, that's trying to seduce you in the wrong way, whatever they're trying to ma'akran, they're trying to push you away. Hey, minias mi bachutz, mi b'nei adam acherim, whether it's going to be obstacles that you're going to come about through other people, that they'll tell you, what are you doing here? What's the rabbi saying? Put on the Rabbeinu Tam. Hey, what are you doing here? What do you think? You're going to the Nate's Minion? What are you wasting your time? Right? People will do that. People say that. Come on, why don't you sleep a little more, right? Don't pay attention to them. You want to sleep? You sleep. You sleep your life away. I'll sleep after 120. We have plenty of time to sleep. Now I'm in the world. I got to do plenty of things. I got things to do now. Right? The tzaddikim would say that, right? We sleep. What do you mean? After I leave the world, I'll have plenty of time to sleep. Now I'm alive. I got to do. This is the time we got to do now. Okay. Okay. Hey, menias mitzad atzmai. Or the person has the meniya, the obstacle from his own self. Right? The person may have he may be his own obstacle. Right? That we keep talking about the idea of the imagination. Right? The koyach hamedameh. Right, we all have in our minds this koyach hamedameh. We learned a lot of lessons about that. Right, we have an imagination, right, and the imagination really guides our day. Right, I imagine if I'm going to do this today, then it's going to be like this, like this, like this. I don't really know, but I'm imagining that it'll be a certain way. Right, and that's what causes me to do that. Oh, if I get up early, I can go to work. I'll do this and this, and I'll go to this place. I'll go to that place. Right? You make plans. That's all imagination. It didn't happen. Right? It's all imagination. Right? So sometimes a person imagines, I can't get up in the morning. I can't learn the Daf Yomi. I can't learn Halachos. I can't do this. I can't have my conversation. But why? Realign your thoughts. Realign. I can. It will be good. It's going to be good. You understand? Why do people have so much anxiety? It's all from the imagination. They're imagining the things that they imagine in their mind. Everything is crashing down. Everything's going, and they drive themselves crazy. People literally make themselves crazy. Right? These facilities are full of people that just make themselves crazy. They take all kind of medication. For what? For what? He's giving us the advice over here. The Rebbe is giving us the advice. Adjust your imagination. Things are going to be good. But trust in HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Have emunah. Have b'tachon in Hashem. Okay. Our mind, right? Our mind, we have these different thoughts that are trying to confuse us all the time. Right? Happens? You get all these thoughts in the mind trying to confuse me.
They're not trying, they are.
No, but again, we're learning. No. They're trying. So, but we're learning. So take out those tefillin, and again, the tefillin can help me to realign my mind. It's noitzes zamayich that we keep learning about, right? The realignment of the mind, the machshavas. So that way, I can realign them. So that way, I can think the right way. So that I don't have to have these problems.
You used the term that helped me out. You said it's a GPS.
Mm-hmm.
GPS system that gets you back in line with
You like that one?
where you're trying. It's your ways.
Yeah.
Derech.
Yeah, the imagination is like the GPS, yeah.
So this is probably...
How does the GPS work? How does it really know? It shows you all the things, but really, how does it know?
Something up there.
Yeah, no, but it doesn't
It's in the air.
know.
Here.
It doesn't know, but if it can calculate where you're going to be, and it's pretty good, those things, right?
Yeah, very good.
They get there, and how does it know how long the traffic light's going to be? How does it know how many cars there'll be in front of me? How does it know? Huh?
They're accurate to the minute.
No, but it's remarkable, right?
AI.
AI, yeah.
So, then, this is probably a really silly
Artificial
question.
intelligence, AI. Yeah.
So, it would be a good thing for me to keep these near me when I'm working or praying or even...
Yeah, just to think about the tefillin.
think about 'em.
Just stop for a second, think about it. Where I have my tefillin.
Ones on your head.
Yeah, it would be good. Well, this is my cloak about whether we should wear them all day, unless we're by ourselves, I guess.
No, because you're not supposed to have a hesed chadas, right? You're supposed to remember that you're wearing the tefillin.
Yeah.
Right, we have to remember that you're wearing the tefillin, and that's why we don't wear the tefillin all day, because we can't remember that we're wearing when we're involved in everything that we're doing. Right, in the earlier years, they used to wear the tefillin all day because they paid attention to what they were doing. Today we have these phones and they drive us crazy, right? Beep 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 beep, right? Another message. You can't think right? All right. It makes us have it weakens our mind. Right? It weakens up our minds. It's trying to knock me down. That's the Yetzer Hara. The Yetzer Hara is trying to knock me down all the time. That's his job. He tries to knock me down, tries to make me imagine I can't be close to Hashem. He tries to make me imagine I'm no good. That's why Rabbi Nachman keeps telling us you have to always find the Nekuda Tova. Find something good and work with that. Focus on the Nekuda Tova, right? Focus on a good point in you. Always focus on a good point in you. Why? Because then you'll start to think good. You understand? If you find a good point, we said in the morning, when you get up in the morning, the first thing you do is find the Nekuda Tova. Think about something good that you have. Think about it, something good, right? Think about some mitzvah that you did. Think about some nice thing that you did. Think about some tzedakah you gave. I don't know, whatever it is. Find something, a good thing that you did, and work and focus on that. Why? Because when you do that, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, we know, is involved in doing he takes care of everything in the world, right? That's Hashgacha Pratis. But HaKadosh Baruch Hu himself is involved in all the goodness of the world. The things that are not seemingly good, right? That Hashem has his messengers to do. He has his different malachim that he sends out to do. But whenever you connect yourself to a good point, something that you did that's good, when you connect yourself to something that's good, so then you get the protection of Hashem. Then you're in Hashem's camp. Why? Because Hashem is involved in good. You understand? He's involved in good. So if I did something good, I connect myself with the protection of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Isn't that nice? And then if I could think about that all day long, I have the protection of Hashem. So then again, any thought that comes in my mind that tries to veer me from that, hey, wait, I got protects you. You show the card, right? You have, look, I have protection here. Leave me alone, right? I got protection. I'm here. I'm protected with Hashem. Amazing. Alpi adrochim ha'etzes v'schaskos ha'nemorim b'sforav ha'kedoshim ha'meshiven es ha'nefes b'shiva Meshivei Tam. It gives you so many ideas, so many beautiful ideas Rabbi Nachman gives us, and I just gave you a few of them. But there's so many more how to realign the thoughts all the time, to live a happy, wholesome life in a way that you feel the purpose of life, and you feel the beauty in life, and you use all the moments in that way, and you realize how precious every moment that we have is, and we use it to serve Hashem in any way we can. To lift us up from any kind of yerida. Right, we all know we live in life. We have aliyas and yeridas, right? We go up and we go down. The Rebbe says that we have to be a baki barotzi, baki b'shav. Right? We have to be a baki. We have to be an expert when we're going up, when we're going close to Hashem, when we feel like we're close to Hashem. I have to realize this is not going to be forever, right? I have to realize when I'm getting close to Hashem, how close am I really getting? How great is Hashem really? How close am I really? I'm so far away from Hashem, to realize that. And then again, when I fall down, to realize that Kodesh Baruch that even if I'm in the shul, even if I find myself in that pit, I find myself in that pit, Hashem Hineka, Hashem is there with me. You understand? It doesn't make a difference. Hashem, you're there with me. So on one hand, you have to realize how great Hashem is, and you have to put yourself in. You have to, so to say, not to go too far, But then again, when you fall down, you realize Hashem is mamish with you. Hineka. And it doesn't matter what you read it is, Hashem is there. Hashem is everywhere in the world. No matter where I go, no matter where I find myself, Hashem is there with me. And just to call out to Hashem, Aye Mekayim Kivoidei. Aye, where are you, Hashem? I know you're here. Reveal yourself to me. Right? Hashem, I know you're here. Reveal yourself to me. And that's the greatest thing that a person can do anytime. Hashem is mamish there. Just call out to Hashem, reveal yourself to me. Okay.
Can I just add a little thing here?
Yeah, please.
I don't know why. I think sometimes we think it has to be something really big, a nikuda, or however anyone says, I don't understand it.
Nikuda tova.
Nikuda tova. So I was really, one thing that made me feel good, like I'm learning the halachot or Shulchan Aruch.
Yeah.
And I learned, because in the beginning, that you should have your tzitzit that you put on right away when you get out of bed, without saying anything.
Yeah.
So I put it by my chair, and then when I got out of bed, I put it on, and it was just a very simple little thing that I did, and it made me feel good, like I did something good.
Yeah, you did.
No, I know. But I'm saying we don't realize.
Rabbi, we learned from Reb Noson that even while you're still lying in bed, even before you said Moda'ani, just take a second to think, find something good, and then say the Moda'ani, and then put on then go wash your hands, and then put on the tzitzis. You're supposed to wash your hands first before you put on the tzitzis.
Shulchan Aruch says something different.
No, the Shulchan Aruch, you're supposed to always wash your hands first. You're not supposed to touch it. Your hands are impure.
I know. He said you don't say the blessing, but you put it on. I'll show
Okay.
you next time. I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe yours has been a change because they make changes.
No. You okay. Whatever. It's all good. You shouldn't fall in elu divrei likim chayim, right? Each one is right. It's okay. It's good. It's all good. It's good. Just do what you're doing. Okay? Lipo b'shum oifen. I shouldn't fall down at all. Any way, what shape or form. Shum nefila ba'alma. Any time. I should never fall down. Because if I realize Hashem is always with me, even if I am falling down, I'm with Hashem. It doesn't matter. He's falling down with me. He's with me. I should never have a weakening of my mind. Because again, if I can keep in my mind all the time that Hashem is with me, I can keep that in mind. I won't have a chalisha sadas. I only have a chalisha sadas if I feel Hashem's not there. Right? I feel a weakening of my mind, my connection to Hashem, if Hashem's not there. But if I keep it on my mind, Shivisi Hashem lenegdi summit. What does the Shulchan Aruch say? In the morning, the first thing the Shivisi, Shulchan Aruch opens up. Shivisi Hashem lenegdi summit. You're always there with me, Hashem. Remember that. That's the first thing. Before you learn any halacha, remember that. Hashem is always with you. That's how the Shulchan Aruch opens up. Shivisi, remember, know that. Now you can learn the halachas, but know that Hashem is always with you. A person should be strong in his mind. Be very grateful all the time with the chesed Hashem that He gives you and all the goodness that we have in our lives. In other words, we're trained today. The world wants us to believe everything is no good, and what I don't have, right? That's the whole advertisement world, right? What do? They try to show you what you don't have. Oh, but if you had this thing, it'll be great. Then it's going to be great. Wait. What about all the things I have now? Who said I need that? Who said I need it? Because you said I need that. That's why I need it. Because you tell me I need it. That's why I need it.
I bought the car and the girl didn't come with it. That's all I know.
Huh?
I bought the car and the girl did not come with it.
Don't tell your wife that. As the Rebbe speaks about this a lot in other places, right? This same idea to just really always be happy with what HaKadosh Baruch Hu grants us. Because again, really we're supposed to be happy with what we have every day. The world teaches us today, you have to worry about what's going to be in a few years from now. I have to worry, you have to plan and prepare. But really, what does Chazal tell us? I have to make sure I have what I need for today. And Hashem, you gave me what I need today. What am I going to worry about? Who knows what tomorrow is going to bring? I'm happy I have what I have today. That's it. But live that way. And again, Reb Noson is not going to tell you that you shouldn't try to prepare something for the future, but to realize what you have every single day. You understand? To realize that you have food today. To realize that I have a place, I have a roof over my head today. Right? I have my family. That's something so special. Thank Hashem for that. Thank Hashem for all of those things that we have in our lives. Vayigba libay b'darkei Hashem. Lift up your heart in the way of Hashem. Vayigba, right? Hagba, like we do the Torah, right? Hagba, we lift up the Torah, right? Lift up. Hagba, vayigba libay b'darkei Hashem. Lift up your heart in the ways of Hashem. See the ways of Hashem, the goodness and how great the ways of Hashem really are. Shezed tzrichin kol adam. Every person needs this. V'afal pichein geyes v'gases hu isu gadol. Hashem. Wait a second. On one hand, you're telling me that if I feel so close to Hashem and I feel to this and this, so that's a little bit of gaiva. That's not a good thing. We're trying to discuss over here the difference between when I have to feel greatness in myself and when I have to feel the humbleness in myself. So on one hand, I need to feel the greatness in myself, that I have everything Hashem gave me. That's great, that's wonderful, unbelievable. But where's the humbleness at that moment? We'll just stay with the program. I have to beg Hashem, like we keep saying, that give me true humility. Because again, the more humble I am, the more appreciative I'm going to be. Do you understand? Mm-hmm. The more humble I am, the more truly humble I am, and the more I get closer to Hashem, the more appreciative that I'm going to be. Look at this. So anova, to being humble and having greatness of holiness is really one thing, because you have to balance the two. In other words, you need the greatness to feel everything special in your life, and then wow, Hashem, you gave me all these things. Why? What am I deserving of all these things that you gave me, Hashem? Am I deserving? And when a person feels that way, Hashem says he feels so compelled to give you more. When a person really feels that he feels so grateful for things in an honest way of what he has, and he thanks Hashem. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that's what we call an Isarusa de Lasata, right? Of awakening from down here, right? So that causes the Isarusa de La'ela, right? That causes an awakening from above. It's reciprocal, right? I feel this for Hashem, and Hashem gives me more. So then I feel that, and then I can feel again more humble, because Hashem, you gave me even more. But why? How? Why? So Hashem says, wow, you really feel that way, I'm going to give you more, because we feel appreciative. In other words, when a father gives his child something, and the child says, this is all you gave me? This is all you gave me, Dad? This is all you gave me? So does the father want to give him anything else? You don't feel it? But wow, Daddy, you gave me this. It's so special. Wow, why? Wow. So then, and if the child feels, so then of course the father wants to give it more. That's the mashal for the nimshal, right? Right? The way we are with our children and the interactions, that's how Hashem is with us. It's the same idea. Okay? Anova v'gadlus kedusha kol. But this way it says, Anova v'agedula de kedusha. Humbleness, being humble, anova, right? Humility and greatness of kedusha is really one thing. You see that, says Sashi? You see that? Hakol echad legamri. What does legamri mean? Completely. It's completely legamri. It doesn't say it's echad. Echad legamri. It's really one. It's a system. You need to have the greatness to have the humility. You need to have the humility in order to feel the greatness. It's a system. They're really one thing. You can't really have one without the other. Because if you have one without the other, then you're a shlamazel, like we kept saying. Right? If the person has only humility and he feels like a doormat, so then that's a shlamazel. But you have to know, I'm not a shlamaz. I have to feel the greatness, all the things that Hashem granted. Look at the beautiful passage. Look at this. The place of greatness, right? The place of greatness. That same place you'll find anivas. The place of greatness, you'll find humility. Right? You see this? In the place of greatness, you'll find humility. And that's what Reb Noson is teaching us over here, that really anova and gedula, the greatness of kedusha, right? The greatness of kedusha, the gedulas hakedusha is really one thing. In other words, the place that you're going to find, that you're going to find greatness of holiness, in that same place you'll find the anova. Does that make it? Does anyone have any questions on that? It's a very important concept, because again, Reb Noson's teaching, this is really one system. It's one system to feel the greatness, to feel to feel the greatness, and to thank Hashem for what I have. And then when I realize what I just did, I thanked Hashem for all of this that I have in my life. So then I feel so humbled by it. It humbles me. It humbles me. That's why the world is always telling the people what they don't have. And they always focus on what you don't have. Don't thank Hashem for what you have. Hey, Hashem, you didn't give me this. Hashem, you didn't give me that. Right? You understand how it works? It's so simple, but it's so true. It's so simple, but it's so true. Again, the place that you find the greatness of Kedusha, in that same place you can find the humility. Okay. V'zeh b'chinas Tefillin the Rashi and Rabbeinu Tam. And this is the idea of the Tefillin Rashi and Rabbeinu Tam. Wow, how do you figure that? Well, it's very simple. Rashi is the tefillin that it goes in the order of parashiyas that Hashem gives me all the chesed. That's the gedula. That's the gedula of kedusha, right? It gives me all the great. And the Rabbeinu Tam is where the gvura comes first. Where the gvura comes first. Where the gvura comes first. And then I need the humility. I need my humility there. Okay, so again, that's the tefillin Rashi Rabbeinu Tam. Machmas suffix, I need them because again, there's a suffix of how do I put the parashiyas in there. Okay, she'ein yoidim ma'u anava kinal, because and if I don't know what anava is, so then that's why I need to put on both tefillin. The Rashi say the parashiyas heim bechina sham shem havaya kiseder. In the tefillin of Rashi, you have the parashiyas in the order of Yud Kei Vav Kei is kiseder. What does kiseder mean? It means that Hashem's name is written Yud Kei Yud Hey Vav Hey. That's in order. That's in order. Yismechu Hashemayim v'sogel Aretz. Right? Rosh Chodesh Nisan. Rosh Chodesh Nisan. If you take a look in the when it comes to the Musaf of Rosh Chodesh Nisan, you take a look at the acronym of the way Hashem's name is written. It's written that way: Yismechu Hashemayim v'sogel Aretz. Yismechu Yud Hashemayim is a hey, v'sogel is a vav. Haaretz is a hey, Yud Kei Vav Kei. That's Keseder. That's Rashi. That's the way tefillin of Rashi is. Why? What's the significance of the Yud? Because we know that really a Yud, we keep talking about Yud. Yud is Anova, but really all this, we know that there are 10 levels of holiness, right? There are 10 levels of holiness of Eretz Yisrael, right? HaKadosh Baruch Hu created Olam Haba using the Yud, because again, that's the Anova. We learned that a person, when it's going to come to the resurrection of the dead, those that were humble people, they will be resurrected. Why? Because the whole idea of Olam Haba was created that way with the Yud, because the Yud is humble. Okay? We're going off the top. Okay. Shesham Kiseder HaChasodim, that's where you have the Chasodim Yoitzin Tchila. That the Chesed goes out first. That the Chesed goes out first. In other words, you have the Chesed. Again, I'll just tell you like this: Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem v'ahavta es Hashem Elokecha v'chol levavecha v'chol nafshecha v'chol miyadecha. Right? That whole parsha of Shema is going. Everything's in order. Everything's beautiful. Right? You'll have everything you need, and the kids and everything's going to be good. Everything's in order. It's all in order. But when you come to the parsha of V'hayim Shemaya, so there you have over there what happens if you don't listen to Hashem. And what happens is you have the Gvura in there. You have the Gvura in there. That's the thing. So when it's tefillin of Rashi, the Shema comes before the V'haya. The Shema comes before the V'haya. And that's why the Chasadim come before the Gvura. Okay? Okay. Tefillin the Rabbeinu Tam, when it comes to Tefillin the Rabbeinu Tam, so now we're going to switch around. We're going to switch around the Yud Kei Vav Kei, because again we're saying in Rashi Tefillin are the Yud Kei Vav Kei, the Yud and the Hey, the Vav and the Hey is in order. It's in order. But now if I switch the parashas around, I have the Yud, Hey, Hey, Vav. I switch it around. I switched around the Hey and the Vav. So if I switch it around, so now I have Yud, Hey, Hey, Vav. That's not in order. That's not the way Hashem's name is written. Yud, Hey, Hey, Vav. It's written Yud, Kei, Vav, Kei. Right? Then that's not Geseder. Right? Because then Shesham, Ha-Hey, Koidemes, Le'avav, you can see that in the Pri Eitz Chaim. If you want to take a look at that in Shara Tefillin, Pei Tes, if you want to look up at this idea. So Reb Noson is giving us the idea. You see how nice he is? He's teaching us these nice, beautiful concepts. So the Tefillin of Rashi is the Chasodim comes before the Gevura. The Tefillin of Rabbeinu Tam, the Hey is switched with the Vav. So it's Yud, Hey, Hey, Vav. Not like Rashi is Yud, Kei, Vav, Kei. It's switched, and therefore you have the Gvura before you have the Chesed. Hainu, ki hachasadim v'gevuras heim b'china shoyrish anova v'agedula. Look at this now. This is amazing, right? Sashi, see this? Ki hachasadim v'gevuras, right? This concept of the Chesed Hashem and the Gevura of Hashem, the kindness and the mercy, compassion of Hashem. Right, is this and the idea of gevura, judgment, punishment, right? All of that constriction, all of that is part of gevura. Hein bechina shoyrish anova v'gedula. That's the shorish. That's the root. That's the foundation of anava and gedula. The two concepts that we keep learning about: the gedula, the kedusha, right? To feel that greatness, and I have to feel like the Gibor Koil. I have to feel that to thank Hakadosh Baruch Hu all the time for everything He gave me. And then again, the anava. Wow, Hashem, you gave me all of this. Was I really worthy to have all of this? Right? David always tells me, do I thank Hashem? What do you always say, David? I'll let you say it now. You say that people say thank you for Hashem for everything that they have. What do you always say?
Why me? Why do I have all this goodness?
You see that?
Instead of waiting till something you don't like happens, say, why is this happening to me? Why don't you thank Him for all this?
See how beautiful that is? You see how beautiful that is?
Oh, yeah.
Why is this happening to me? Why? Right? Whenever something bad happens, they go, why me? Why me? So David says, when he feels all the goodness and the chesed in his life, he says, why me?
People blame Hashem for the depression in the 30s. Did they thank Him for the 20s when they made all the money and, they didn't thank Him. They just took it and ran.
They took it and ran, right? And then when they didn't have it, they, hey, where's my money?
Why are you doing this to me? What did I do?
Because they didn't thank Hashem at that time. So then Hashem says, well, you didn't thank me, so then you don't need it. Ki anava zeh bechinas ayin, because anava is ayin, nothingness, feeling nothing is ayin. And that's the bechina of the midah of chasodim. Ayin is the bechina of is the idea of chasodim. Now, and he says, va'gedula zeh bechinas dinim ugvurais bechinas yeshus. The gvura, you hear this? The other side. When it comes to gedula, that feels yeshus. Like we keep saying, you have to thank Hashem for the things that you have. That's yeshus. That's something. I have these things in my life. But then the anova is where I thank Hashem and I say to Hashem, why me? Hashem, why are you giving me all these things? Unbelievable. That's the ayin. Right. You understand? So you have the greatness, the gvura, and you have the ayin, the same idea. Something yeshus. What's the opposite of ayin? Ayin is nothingness. Yeshus is something. Right? Yeshus, there's something. Yeshli. I have something. Ayin is nothing. Ayin is nothing. So the ayin is the idea. You understand the idea of the ayin and the idea of the yesh. The yesh is part of the gevur. I have something. I have. The ayin is thanking HaKadosh Baruch Hu for the chesed that He gave to me. That why me? Why do I have all of this chesed? Okay, but that's what I could. Okay, okay, fine. Uve'emes b'shosham b'kedusha shneim. And really, in kedusha, you need both of these. You can't have one without the other. If you don't realize what you have in your life. If you don't realize what you have in your life, and you're not thanking Hashem for it, and then you don't feel that need that need of humbleness. That why HaKadosh Baruch Hu, did you grant me all of these things? I have such a beautiful family. I have a beautiful place to live. I have health. I can walk. I can talk. I can see. I can hear. Do we ever thank Hashem for these things?
Yes.
Good. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. You need both of them. But down here we have a suffix. Which one do I do first? Do I have to feel first the nothingness? Do I feel first the nothingness, or do I feel first something, and then I could feel the anava? In other words, when there's a suffix, how do I do it? What's the order? Right? We keep saying the order is you thank Hashem for the greatness, you thank Hashem for everything, and then you feel the humbleness. But maybe but again, if you switch the tefillin and you go to Rabbeinu Tam, you have the humbleness first, and then you have the greatness. You have the greatness. So the question is, can were we getting in trouble? What?
We're just sitting here. You're getting in trouble.
I'll get in trouble. I'll take it. It's okay.
I don't think we're getting in trouble.
No, I spoke to Reb Shlomo. I told him. I said, I don't care. We're making noise in here. You go make more noise in there. Drown us out. It's not a library. The base medrash doesn't have to be a library. It's not a library. Beis Medrash is supposed to be noisy, right? You walk into Beis Medrash, you have to hear the cold Torah. You have to hear the cold Tefillin. Okay, anyway, I'm sorry. Okay. And therefore, Reb Noson is telling us here that you have to put on both of them, because again, we don't know which is the right way to do it. That we first have to feel the humbleness, and then that'll bring me to feel, see, I'm really nothing, and wow, Hashem, you gave me so much greatness. Or do I feel the greatness, and then I realize how of everything that Hashem gave me, and then it brings me to the humbleness. Which way do we do it first? So we don't know, and because of that, we're supposed to put on both tefillin. All right, and therefore you need both of them. V'zeu mokem sheyesh beroish. What? And look at this. The Gemara in Eruvin says mokem yesh beroish laniach by shnei tefillin. You have enough place on your head to put 2 pairs of tefillin. The head, we have a place that we put the tefillin on, right? The part of the head you could really put. So have you ever seen the Sfardim? My good friend Rabbi Rayedi, right? He's a Sfardi. He's from Sfardi origin. So he wears 2 pairs of tefillin at the same time. You ever see those? You ever see those?
I haven't seen.
Well, they're very small. You have the Rashi and the Rabbeinu Tam. One's right before the other. There's 2 of them, and he puts it on his head at the same time. 2 pairs of tefillin at the same time. Is that amazing?
Did Rashi wear Rabbeinu Tam?
I don't know.
I mean, it talks about in Eruvin that Rabbeinu Tam existed before Rabbeinu Tam.
I understand. The concept existed before. Yeah, that's right. No, absolutely. But again, it became in practice again because of Rabbeinu Tam. That's how it came in practice. The concept was there. The Zohar speaks about it. Pre-Eitz Chaim. Of course, the Zohar was before Rashi and Rabbeinu Tam. Of course, but to institute it, that we should do it, and the reasons why we should put it on, that's what Rabbeinu Tam. It was one of the Baalei Tosfos, and that's why we do it. Okay, so now, Shemarames al Tefillin Rashi the Rabbeinu Tam, that you can really have enough place to put them both on at the same time. Unbelievable. To see, do you ever see those? Did you ever see those tefillin like that?
I've never seen it, but I heard about it, yeah.
Oh, it's wonderful to see it. You can even go to this, if you go to here to the Sfardim, right over here, you see there's a couple of the guys, I was there, a couple of the guys have them also. Yeah, by the Sfardim, what?
Some Ashkenazim do it too.
I never saw Ashkenaz wear it. I never saw the Ashkenazim do it. I never saw that.
In Efrat, Ashkenazi does it.
Maybe, okay, that's not our minhag to do it, that's really a Sfardi minhag, we don't necessarily do that. But okay, that's fine. Okay, k'mavoya dehainu be'emes yesh mokem sheberoish v'amayach la'aniach shnei tefillin hainu lahamshich al atzmai shnei bechinas. They have these 2 aspects. What are the 2 aspects? The gedula of the kedusha, the greatness of kedusha, to feel, to thank you for Hashem for everything in my life, and then at the same time to feel humble. Or do I feel humble and that'll bring me to thank Hashem for why I'm so low, and wow, you gave me so much things, Hashem? Or do I do it? Do I realize how much I have, and then I become more humble? Which way do we do it? So that's really the difference of Rabbeinu Tam and Rashi. Rashi, Rabbeinu Tam. That's the difference. So therefore, we put on both of them. The Hainu liyas ona be'emes v'layia b'liba shum tzad geyas v'gashas klal. That a person can have in his heart, that a person can really feel. He could really feel that aspect of anivas, the aspect of humbleness, without having any arrogance at all in his heart. We have to beg Hashem for that. But don't feel at the same time. So you're going to tell me, hey, Reb Noson, you just said to me that I can't have any arrogance at all. So how am I going to have that power in order to do the right thing? And what's going to give me? I have to have that. That's the thing. I need both of them. I can have the greatness in my mind. I have to have in my heart. I have to have the anavai. They have to work together. They have to constantly work together. Klal shezel bechina shnei tefillin, the Rashi, the Rabbeinu Tam. That's the reason why we wear the Rashi and the Rabbeinu Tam. V'alkein tzrichen laniach shneim daika. Therefore, you have to put them both on and don't only wear one. There's a beautiful story with Rabbi Yaakov Kamenetsky. So I Baruch Hashem, I'm very good friends with Rabbi Yamin Kamenetsky. He was one of the sons of Rabbi Yaakov Kamenetsky in the five. What? All of a sudden,
Because my principal went to school.
Yeah. Oh, Rabbi Yamin, all of a sudden, he was such a special yid. Wow. Rabbi. His,
Smooth brother.
Yeah, that was his brother. Yeah. There's small Kamenetsky. It should be the Rosh Yeshiva. He's the Rosh. Yeah. No. Oh, he's amazing, Rabbi Yamin. Every Erev Shabbos, he would spend over an hour. He had a whole list of almonas, and he had the Yisayim, and he would call everyone up always and wish them a good Shabbos. What he did was unbelievable. What he did was really, really, truly unbelievable. How he built his yeshiva, wonderful. Mamash, he was Mamash, an amazing person. But Rabbi Yaakov Kamenetsky, when he was 90 years old, he bought a pair of Rabbeinu Tam Tefillin. They asked him, Rebbe, why did you get Rabbeinu Tam Tefillin when you were 90 years old? So he says, I was young. He said it was in the yeshiva, and then someone asked me about putting on the Rabbeinu Tam Tefillin. They asked me about it. So I said at that time, when I was young, when I'll be 90 years old, I'll put on a pair of Rabbeinu Tam Tefillin.
So
he says, okay, now I'm 90 years old. Baruch Hashem, I made it. I have to put on the pair of Rabbeinu Tam Tefillin. He was an Ishem, on the highest order.
Even though he was Litvak,
Yeah.
he didn't make the brachas on Pesach.
Mm-hmm.
So why? Because when he was a bocher, so they used to eat in various places. This place, he didn't know it was real kosher, so he said, you know what? We can't eat here because I don't eat the brachas.
And that was it. And he never ate the brachas again. Yeah, that's the every word that's so important to them. What they say, you see that? He said something. Maybe he was 40 years old. 50 years later, he remembers. I said when I was 40 years old, I put on Tefillin, Rabbeinu Tam. He goes and buys a pair of Tefillin. But you see, everyone you see this really by all of the Rosh Yeshiva, they all wear, they put on Rabbeinu Tam Tefillin at one time. So really, Reb Noson's not telling us anything here, something miraculous or anything. Really, it's a standard practice in Klal Yisrael, and we see the beauty of really Rashi Rabbeinu Tam. And we never should think that one is important and not the other one. Chas v'shalom. Everyone have a wonderful day. Thank you so much, Kol